Hey everybody, welcome to the Shower Door Help channel. Today I want to give you some tips and tricks and stuff like that that I've learned over the last 30 years of installing shower doors. Currently I'm doing it by myself. So if I can do it by myself at 58 years old, I'm assuming what I teach you will allow you to do it on your own as well, or at least have somebody help you out and get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this and offer up some commentary as we both watch this video. Usually find that's the best way to kind of do it instead of trying to do it on the fly at the job site. So here we go. Anyway, so this is a curb of this shower. I like to take this cardboard and I like to cut it and I like to lay that on top of the curb. Then this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So you get an idea of what we're doing there. The corner of the glass is going up against the wall, the back wall there. I usually like to take a little thin block and tape that to the glass. That kind of protects it, because if you're going to chip it, you're probably going to chip it against the wall there because it doesn't have any protection. But anyway, so what I do is I'll take the glass and set it right on the center line of the curb that I had laid out before, and then I'll push the glass up against the wall there, get it all nice and snug against the wall. So the glass should be parallel with the wall. One second. What I'll do is I'll push the glass up against the wall there and get it nice and snug so that that little thin block is touching the wall. Kind of gives me a little friction, helps me kind of out there. And that's the notch in the glass. I got two of them, one near the top of the glass and one near the bottom of the glass. What I'm doing there is drawing a line to indicate the top of the notch and the bottom of the notch. So I kind of want to know the space there in that notch. So this is a little tricky here, doing it by yourself, but if you have somebody to help you, it's kind of nice. I'm also trying to line that up as best I can by eye against the reveal of the outside of the tile there. If you look down on the tile there, you can kind of see that. I'm trying to be parallel with that reveal there. Also too, it is sitting in the center or on the marked part of the curb that I indicated with a little marker on that cardboard. So setting up my laser level, and I'll show you here in a second what I'm doing, but I'm marking a plumb line in the center of those notches. It's really hard to see here. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And that line is also on the marks of the center of the curb. I'm checking my reveal there to make sure that I'm in the right spot of the curb, because I want a certain reveal with the curb. And I put the laser across that line, and so it goes up the wall. So I have the plumb line is centered on the spot I wanted on the curb. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick little demonstration on what I'm doing here because it's kind of hard to see. But what I did is I drew two lines. It'd be for that notch when it was up against the wall. So I got a top of the notch, the bottom of the notch right there. And then what I do is when I try to find my plumb, I'll have two notches. For example, let's say there's one down here. So I got the top of the notch, the bottom of the notch right there. What I need is a hole that is plumb in the center of each one of those notches. So what I do is I take my laser level, like such, and I will place it where the notches are. So this is a plumb line. And then I will draw a line right here and right here. So these two lines are plumb with each other. And so what I'll do is I'll make an X right in the middle of the hole on both the top and the bottom. And so when I drill my hole here and here, I have two holes that are plumb, so both my clamps are going to be plumb. And they're going to be the proper height for the glass. So that's basically what I'm doing in that video, or in that little clip there. So now here I am drilling the holes. What I like to do is start with this 1/4 inch bit. I get a little dimple in the tile because that diamond bit that I'm going to go back with is flat, and it's impossible to get it started without it just going all over the tile. And when I'm drilling that 3/16 hole out, I'm gonna go ahead and put plugs in the wall that are 1/4 inch plugs. So while I'm drilling this and answering questions for the customer, she did stand there and watch me the whole time. If you guys are out there hiring somebody to come out and do your shower install, don't stand there and watch them. It makes things a lot more difficult for the installer. They can't focus on what they're doing typically, so they may make a mistake. And if they make a mistake, you're not going to notice it anyway. But anyway, so once I get that 3/16 hole drilled out, what I'll do is I'll ream the hole back out with the 1/4 inch bit, because if you try to use a 1/4 inch diamond hole saw bit, it does make a hole a little bit bigger than your plug, so your plug will spin. So anyway, that's why I ream it out. Anyway, I got my clamps screwed in, slide the glass in there, and I take that tape and I will tape the glass to the clamp on the inside of the shower. That will hold the glass pretty steady. And also too, being that glass is up against the wall with that little block, it offers some friction there. Also, I did put a piece of foam up on top and slid that against the wall as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to figure out, I'm getting the hinge plate put together on that, I don't know why I confuse this all the time. The clamp plate, I tape that to the outside and I try to line that up with the screw hole there. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm trying to jump around. I'm trying to get it all lined up. It takes a little while sometimes, and sometimes you just nail it right off the bat. But anyway, that's what I'm doing there. I will finally get that done. And yeah, so this is the piece of glass and how I had it cut, because the opening is not perfectly plumb and level. And so I had the glass put together so that it will be, if the glass is flat against the wall and flat against the curb, then I should have a plumb edge on the outside edge of that glass, in theory. So once I get all the clamps put in there, I will jump around and get her all tightened down. That kind of stabilizes the glass. And what I'm going to do here, yeah, it just takes a little while sometimes to get those screws in there. You want to make sure you're not bumping into that glass going around it, so be careful there. Can't be a klutz and do this job. So anyway, I'll get it all pushed up against the wall. I'll go ahead and remove all that tape and get that block out of there so that it's kind of free. And I will look at that line that is going up and down the wall. So I want to make sure that line is even. If it's even, then the edge of the glass should be plumb, and it is. So I did a good measure there. So now what I'm going to do is I got a clamp that's going in the bottom corner there. So the glass is all lined up on the curb where I want it. I'll go ahead and set the clamp in there with the gasket on it and get a hole marked for where I'm going to drill into the tile. And then I will slide the glass over. Again, I'll take my 1/4 inch bit and I will do a little dimple in the tile with that 1/4 inch bit. It's a lot sharper, so it gives me a good little dimple there. There it is again, that's the bit I use. And then I will take my diamond hole saw bit and I'll drill the hole through the tile with that bit. That way I don't have to use a hammer drill. Just keep it wet. And that's what I'm doing with that little cup there. It's full of water, so I keep dipping it, keeping it wet. And then once I get it all drilled out, then I'll take the 1/4 inch bit and then drill the rest of the way through, wallowing out the hole so that it's a 1/4 inch hole. The reason you don't want to use a 1/4 inch diamond bit is because it will make the hole too big, and then when you do put a plug into that hole, it's not tight and it will spin. So that's just a little tip there for you. So Now I got it all cleaned up, put the plug in there, screw the clamp down, and then I will take my silicone and I will silicone around that gasket so that it will squeeze out and everything and get all inside the clamp there. Pull the glass against the clamp, and I'm getting a bunch of questions asked of me at this point, but anyway, sorry about my leg being in the way, but I'm basically just screwing the clamp in place, so that's pretty straightforward. So anyway, now that I got the glass where I want it, check the line, it's all plumb, and then what I'll do, the clamps are all tight as well. I'll go ahead and I'll cut the one side of the cardboard with my razor knife, pull that out there. And then I got a little teeny, little thin setting block I put under the edge of the glass. The glass is actually floating above the tile because the clamps kind of hold it in the air. So there's a gap under the glass that the cardboard's in. And so that's why I can slide the cardboard out, because of the weight of the glass is not on the cardboard. But I do have the little thin blocks in there. They're like, usually I use like a 16th or a little smaller block. But anyway, this is what the final opening looks like after it's all said and done. I will try to make a video, if this one does okay, on how to set the front two panels, the door and that inline panel with the door, if this video works out. So anyway, subscribe and you'll go ahead and get a notification when I do post that video up. So anyway, have a good day. I hope this helps out with you and your home project. So have a good one.